안녕, 내 이름이 리입니다. 나는 한국 사람이 아니야. 근데 내가 어렸을 때부터 나는 한국 팬 있었다. I have a playlist saved in my YouTube channel known as hangul. It's private, yeah. So I'll put it in public later. And in these 5 videos, I get to learn so much for how to start a sentence, or how to learn basic Koreans, or how to finish a sentence. In this 200 words I got to learn this Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, chair, table, tomorrow, yesterday, today, etc. Stuff like that. It's very helpful. After watching all this video, I got to note down all the important parts in my notes, and then I'll learn it, I'll memorize it, and I'll try to write it down, and again I'll watch the videos if I don't get it. And that's how I started learning myself how to learn Korean, because I desperately wanted to read Korean, but then I stay in outskirts, so there's no place that we can learn Korean. The first thing I learned about Korean was numerical. These are the numericals in Korean, and 0 is gong in Sino-Korean, yang in native Korean. In Sino-Korean, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And in native Korean, it's 열. When it starts from hana, it ends with 열. It's 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷, 다섯, 여섯, 일곱, 여덟, 아홉, 열. 열 하나, 열 둘, like 열 10, 11, 12, 13. Even if I can't speak Korean, I can understand most of the Korean well, because since I was a kid, I started watching Korean dramas and liking all this K-pop. That's why I kind of understand. So when I was reading this, I kind of pretty found that in 1, 2, 3, 4, they have all these 100,000 as shipman, 1 million as bagman, 10 million as Johnman, 100 million as Og, 1 trillion as Joe. But in native Korean, they don't have this much. Like in native Korean, they don't have 100,000, 1 million name as like in Sino-Korean. So like, and I heard most of them saying man, iman, John, and stuff. Like I heard them saying more about from Sino-Korean than in native Korean. So I found Sino-Korean pretty easy than native Korean. Native Korean was easy with 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷, 다섯, 여섯, 일곱, 아홉, 열. It's like from 1 to 10, but when it's about after 10, it's like more confusing. So 1, 2, 3 was more easy. In English alphabet, they have 26 alphabet, and in Korean alphabet, they have 24 alphabet, which I found that in Korean, they don't have X and Z. So in Korean, the upper side of L is like G, and the L type of looking is N. This looking type of C is D. This one is R or L. R and L has the same alphabet, and the box square is M. And this is actually B. I made a mistake. This is S, and then this is O. O is like no sound in Korean, but when O comes in front or upside, it has no sound. But when O comes in downside, it has a sound that's called NG. For example, it's like R-E, ing. So R-I-N-G is ring. And then this is J. J kind of looks similar like J. And then that is CH. They have CH instead of C. And then K and T and D is different. That is B. B and P is also different. So sometimes it's confusing whether to use B or P, because they sound similar in Korean. this looking like shape is known as H. So I tried writing it down by looking because Jamie is my bias and it turned out to be correct. Basically, I used to learn all this and then I go through the notes and I try to write it by my own self. For example, like 안녕하세요 in Korean, and then I'll check it in internet and in my notes whether it's correct or not, and when it turns out to be correct, I get happy, and when it's wrong, I correct for myself and then learn it again. What are you doing? 뭐 하는 거야? What is your name? 당신 이름이 뭐십니까? Nice to meet you. 만나서 반갑습니다. How are you? 어떻게 지내? Okay, so these are the basic Koreans, like you guys know. So these are the 200 basic words that I learned, and then I wrote it down on my notes and memorized it down. These are months: 1월, 2월, 한진, 4월, 5월, 6월, 7월, 8월, 9월, 10월, 11월, 12월. Yesterday is known as 어제, today is 오늘, tomorrow is 내일. Weekdays: 월요일, 화요일, 수요일, 목요일, 금요일, 토요일, 일요일. And then day is known as 일. One is also known as 일. Every day is 매일 because it's 일. 매 and 일. Weekdays is 평일. Weekend is 주말. Week is 주. Month is 달. Year is 년. Sometimes I test myself like then is 그때, but is 그래서 or something, I forgot. That is 그 because it's 왜냐면. This Never Korean dictionary is very convenient to use because they give some clips where we can learn Korean, and then they give us this.
이 노트북을 오늘 고칠 수 있어요?
고객님, 접수 시간이 늦어서 오늘 고칠 수 있을지 모르겠습니다. 제품 상태를 먼저 확인해야 합니다.
교통법규를 지키지 않았다. 그는 언판 법규에 속박당했다.
This Google Translate is really good for translating whatever I want to know. If I'm confused about some things, I get to learn from this and then I write it down. The best one, if you really want to learn Korean, then you have to read everything in Korean. That's the best way. So I installed Webtoon. Webtoon has English version also, but it's better to learn it like this. It's very frustrating and hard to learn like this, but when I sometimes don't understand, I just go to Google and then translate it myself. So that's how I get to learn it very early. The best tips is watch Korean dramas without subtitle, watch K-pop videos without subtitle, and you'll get to learn. Stand NCT, you'll get to learn Korean very fast because NCT has lots of foreign members. And then, yeah, thank you for watching.